There's a certain kind of pain that almost nobody talks about. Not the pain of being rejected, not the pain of being hated, the pain of never being chosen in the first place. You watch other people get picked for friendships, picked for relationships, picked for opportunities, picked for attention. And somehow, you always end up on the outside looking in. You become the backup friend, the second option, the person people like but rarely choose. After a while, you stop asking why. You stop expecting anything different. And eventually, something dangerous happens. You start believing it must be because of you. Maybe you're not interesting enough. Maybe you're not attractive enough. Maybe you're not talented enough. Maybe you're simply the kind of person people leave behind. And the worst part, most people carrying this belief have absolutely no idea where it came from. They just know that every time someone chooses somebody else, it hurts far more than it should. Because they're not reacting to one moment. They're reacting to years of moments. Years of feeling invisible. Years of feeling overlooked. Years of feeling replaceable. Years of feeling like everyone else was somebody's first choice while they were nobody's. And if that feeling sounds familiar, this video may explain more about your life than you realize. Human beings are not designed to live in isolation. From the moment we are born, our brains begin searching for connection, for safety, for belonging, for signs that we matter. Psychologists call this social belonging, and research consistently shows that feeling accepted is one of the strongest emotional needs humans have. The problem is that our brains are not objective. They do not simply record experiences, they interpret them. A child who watches a sibling receive more attention may quietly conclude that they are less important. A student who is repeatedly left out may conclude that something is wrong with them. A teenager who watches their friends choose someone else again and again may begin creating a story that says, "I am never the person people really want." At first, that story is only a thought, but over time, thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs become identity. Eventually, you stop seeing rejection as something that happened. You start seeing it as proof of who you are. And that changes everything. Because once the mind believes it is unchosen, it begins finding evidence everywhere. The first sign is that you automatically assume other people have something you do not. You walk into a room and immediately notice who is more confident, more attractive, more successful, more social, more interesting. Your attention naturally moves toward your perceived weaknesses. Meanwhile, your strengths become invisible. This is called negative self-comparison, and it creates a dangerous illusion. Because you are comparing your insecurities to other people's highlights. You see your flaws, they imagine your strengths. Then you conclude that they deserve to be chosen more than you do. Over time, this belief becomes automatic. You stop questioning it. You simply accept it as reality. The second sign is that you constantly fear being replaced, even when nothing is wrong. A friend takes longer to reply, you feel anxious. A partner seems distracted, you feel nervous. Someone new enters the group, you immediately wonder if people will like them more than you. This happens because people who never felt chosen often develop a fragile sense of belonging. Their place never feels secure, no matter how much evidence they receive. Part of them remains convinced that someone better could appear at any moment. And when you live with that belief, relationships stop feeling safe. They start feeling temporary. The third sign is that rejection feels louder than acceptance. 10 people appreciate you, one person ignores you, and somehow your mind focuses on the one person. You remember criticism longer than compliments. You remember exclusion longer than inclusion. You remember disappointment longer than success. This is partly due to something called negativity bias. The human brain naturally pays attention to threats than rewards, but for people who never feel chosen, that effect becomes amplified. Their minds become highly sensitive to signs of rejection, even when acceptance is happening all around them. As a result, They begin living inside a reality that feels far harsher than the one around them. The fourth sign is that you constantly adapt yourself to earn acceptance. You become easygoing, helpful, understanding, available. You learn what people like, and then you quietly become that person. Not because you are fake, but because you are afraid. Afraid that being your authentic self may not be enough. So you earn connection instead of receiving it. You earn approval instead of trusting it. You earn your place instead of believing you already deserve one. The problem is that earned acceptance never feels stable, because if you had to earn it, you can lose it, and that fear never fully disappears. The fifth sign is that genuine affection feels suspicious. Someone tells you they care about you, part of you believes them, another part does not. Someone chooses to spend time with you, you wonder why. Someone loves you, you secretly wait for them to change their mind. This happens because old beliefs do not disappear the moment reality changes. The mind protects familiar stories, even painful ones. And if you spent years believing you were not worth choosing, being chosen can actually feel uncomfortable because it conflicts with everything you thought was true. This may be the most surprising sign of all. Many people assume they only want to be chosen, but when it finally happens, they struggle to accept it. They question it, they analyze it, they doubt it, because certainty feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar experiences often feel unsafe. Part of them keeps waiting for the rejection they have already imagined, the rejection that may never come. This is why healing is not only about finding acceptance, it's also about learning how to receive it. The solution begins with questioning the story, not the story. There's a huge difference. Maybe people overlooked you, maybe people excluded you, maybe people failed to see your value, but none of those experiences automatically mean you are unworthy. Other people's choices are influenced by countless factors: their fears, their preferences, their circumstances, their limitations, their blind spots. Yet people who never feel chosen often make one critical mistake. They turn someone else's decision into a verdict about their value, and those are not the same thing. Being overlooked does not make you invisible. Being rejected does not make you undesirable. Being unchosen does not make you unworthy. The moment you separate your worth from other people's decisions, you begin reclaiming your life. Many people spend years chasing proof that they matter, years chasing validation, years chasing acceptance, years hoping someone will finally choose them. But healing begins when something shifts, when you stop asking, "Why doesn't anyone choose me?" and start asking, "Why have I allowed other people's choices to define my value?" Because your worth was never created by someone else's approval, and it cannot be destroyed by someone else's rejection. The truth is that the person who needs to choose you first is you. If this video resonated with you, comment below which sign felt most familiar. And if you've ever struggled with feeling overlooked, invisible, or replaceable, know that you're not alone. Subscribe for more psychology videos that help you understand yourself on a deeper level. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can learn is that the story you've believed about yourself for years was never the truth.